By indicating that the government intend to vote against our motion seeking to reinstate the eviction ban in the cases of no-fault evictions, the government, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and the Greens have essentially said it is okay that thousands more families, individuals and children are going to end up homeless and in emergency accommodation with all the trauma and suffering that that involves. Particularly disgusting and shameful when it comes to children. To do that to children and to say we are going to allow that to happen on top of already record numbers of people, 4,000 of whom are children, suffering that trauma, and indicating to others, more than 5,000 of whom just in the last 3 months have got notices to quit. Again, thousands of whom are children, and saying you are going to end up homeless. We are not going to stop it. That's what the government is saying. No matter which way you cut it, we are going to allow that to happen. Shame on you. And I have to say, the only answer to this is for the hundreds of thousands of people, all of whom are vulnerable to ending up homeless now, who are renters, all of those who are caught up in some way or another with this housing crisis, unaffordable rents, unaffordable house prices, mortgage interest hikes, you name it, to get out on the streets before this budget on the cost of living protest, which will be centrally about the disastrous situation, the worst end of which is people being driven into homelessness, but for tens of thousands of others, couch surfing, living in overcrowded conditions with 2 or 3 generations living in a home, some people actually sleeping on the streets, and the government says we are going to allow this to happen because the landlords might be a bit upset. Because we need to balance between the right of landlords to charge astronomical rents. Astronomical rents. I mean, the hopelessness that people are suffering who are faced with a notice to quit. In my area yesterday, Minister, 16 properties available on Daft. 1 bedroom, €2,217. 1 available. 2 beds, 2,658. 3 bed, 2,883. 4 bed, well, you get this, 6,229. Now, what does that mean if you're a family working on low or average income? You are absolutely screwed. Screwed. You're going out contacting hundreds of people, and it is a waste of time. You don't even get replies. You don't even get replies. You could resolve this to everybody's satisfaction if you simply said, we will not let people be made homeless. If the landlord has to sell, we will buy the property. But they will not be allowed to say, we're not going to sell the property if the family end up homeless. I mean, this is a letter. One person who's facing an eviction now in Stillorgan, herself and her child, was told in May of this year that sale agreed on a tenant in situ purchase, and now has received a letter a few months later saying, sorry, we've decided to pull out of it. No explanation. The landlord wants to sell to keep the tenant in situ. Obviously the tenant and the family want. No explanation. Sorry, we're not proceeding. We're not proceeding with it. And only a fraction of the expressions of interest on tenants in situ in our area certainly are actually happening. Right? So it's very simple. The government have the power to stop people ending up in homelessness, and indeed to work with the people who are in the shameful situation of being homeless, of getting them out of it. But you're choosing not to. You're choosing not to because you're listening to property owners or landlords or whatever you want to call them, who are making money out of others' housing misery.
Thank you.
Shame on you.
Thank you.